So now let us see this question. This question should be read in combination with this diagram. Okay. So the turning moment diagram for a petrol engine is drawn to scale, following scale. Most of a good fraction of you didn't come yesterday evening. Okay, we have already addressed this issue. Please, don't miss classes because I gave a good introduction about majority of the portion about the flywheels and turning moment diagram was taught yesterday evening. Those of you who didn't come yesterday evening will not understand today's class. What do you want me to do? Nothing can be done. It is your fate. You have to study. I cannot do anything. Okay. So this is a turning moment diagram. Just one sentence I will tell you. Turning moment diagram is the plot of crank position versus torque available in the crankshaft based on the stroke, suction, compression, power stroke, exhaust. So naturally, power stroke will have more torque in the crankshaft. So the effective instantaneous torque handled by the crank based on the crank position, the diagram, x-axis crank angle, y-axis turning moment. Okay. So unless you people stop missing classes, at least first unit you can manage. Second unit will be very miserable if you miss classes. Okay, I will go on to the problem. Turning moment diagram for a petrol engine is drawn to following scale. Turning moment 1 mm equal to 5 Newton meter. What does this mean? A scale is given to you like a map. 1 millimeter in the turning moment diagram equal to 5 Newton meter. Actually, this is 1 millimeter square. Okay, 1 millimeter square in the turning moment diagram is 5 Newton meter. Area under the curve. If you have 1 millimeter square area, it will be 5 Newton meter torque. Okay. So crank angle both x and y axis are given to you. 1 millimeter in x axis is 5 Newton meter. X axis, y axis. This is y axis. Okay, turning moment 1 millimeter equal to 5 Newton meter. And theta 1 millimeter equal to 1 degree. This is x axis, crank angle. So read the question along with the diagram. Turning moment diagram repeats itself at every half a revolution. So what is the entire theta value on the x axis? Half a revolution is pi, 180 degree. Okay, of the engine, and areas above and below the mean turning moment line takes in order 295. First area is 295, 685. Second area is 685. All these are millimeter square. Okay, 40, 340, 960. So this must be your power stroke. 270. So you can see alternating positive and negative above the mean torque line and below the mean torque line. You have fluctuation in maximum torque, instantaneous torque possessed by your crankshaft. We have seen why there is a fluctuation yesterday. Okay, the rotating parts are equivalent to a mass of 36 kilogram and at a radius of gyration of 150 millimeter. This means your flywheel. Okay, determine the coefficient of fluctuation of speed when the engine runs at 1800 rpm. That is your question. Okay, based on the given data, mass of the flywheel is 36 kilogram, radius of gyration is 0.15 meter, rotation speed is 1800 rpm, and omega is, from that you have to find out 2 pi n by 60, 188.52 radians per second. So these are the given data. Any doubts in the question you have right now and up to now? Any doubts? So the scale alone I will explain again. So scale tells you some irrelevant diagram is given. So how do you interpret this scale? So in x-axis, 1 millimeter is 1 degree. Okay, in y-axis 1 millimeter is 1 Newton meter of torque. 5 Newton meter of torque. Sorry, not 1. 5 Newton meter of torque. Okay, so that is the scale given to you. So what should I do with the scale? All those things we will find out next. So what is the thing I have to find out? Result. Coefficient of fluctuation of speed is the only question. I have to find out what is CS. The formula for CS we have seen yesterday. N1 minus N2 by N, or omega 1 minus omega 2 by omega. What is omega 1, omega 2? Minimum speed, maximum speed. Okay, so how do you find out? Let us move on. So this diagram is the key for this problem. This is very important. Okay, so since the turning moment scale 1 millimeter equal to 5 Newton meter, this is your y-axis. Okay, turning moment is in, see the graph. Where is your turning moment? It is in y-axis. Therefore, 1 millimeter height of this curve tells you that it is up to 5 Newton meter. Okay, torque value. So crank angle scale 1 millimeter equal to 1 degree, pi by 180 radian. Convert the trend. Do not do calculations with degrees. Always calculations with angles should be done only in radians. Whatever degree value you have, multiply that by pi by 180, change it into radians. Only then your answer will be correct. Keep that in mind very strongly. Okay. 1 millimeter square on the turning moment diagram. What is the area, length into breadth? What is the length? Length is x-axis 1 degree, that is pi by 180 radians. Y-axis is 5 Newton meter. Therefore, 1 millimeter square area in the graph tells you 5 into pi by 180. which is pi by 36 Newton meter. Each millimeter square area in the diagram tells you, right? Let us put it like this. Now this shaded portion is going to have some area, right? 295 millimeter square. So what is the answer? What is the effective area? What does it tell you? It has pi by 36 into 295 amount of energy stored within it. Do you understand that? So similarly, this much of area is getting, this much of energy is getting reduced from the system. Again, this much energy is added to the system. Again, this much energy is reduced from the system. Now you are having the engine power stroke, therefore enormous amount of energy is added to the system. Then it goes on like that. During the exhaust stroke, energy is taken from the crankshaft again. Likewise, it keeps moving. Do you understand? There is a constant fluctuation. This fluctuation arises primarily because of your pulsating nature of your engine. Only one power stroke is there for every 4 strokes. Suction, compression, exhaust. There is no power input. Only the power stroke gives power for all the other 3. That is why you are having a sudden increase in power in the power stroke. Here, everywhere else your power is slowly reducing. So all these places, this power stroke energy is stored in a flywheel, and that flywheel rotation momentum is used for all the other 3 strokes of the engine. That is the reason for this fluctuation. Okay. So 1 millimeter square in the turning moment diagram tells you pi by 36 Newton meter of energy or torque, effective torque available from the graph. Okay. So let the total energy at point A, and starting from here, I am going to see instantaneously. First, this is my starting point at theta equal to 0 degree. Okay. At theta equal to 0 degree, all the other angles you need not know. We are going to talk only in terms of the points marked in the diagram. A, B, C, D, E, wherever the sign convention changes from positive to negative, negative to positive, all those points are marked in the graph. Okay. Only at these points I am going to find out what is the net energy available. Okay. So I will start with point A when theta is 0 degree, and I am going to declare that the energy at that point is E, capital E. Okay. So let the energy at point A equal to E, right? Next. So energy at point B, so this point. What is the energy at point B? If I have E here, and I am going to add 295 Newton meter millimeter square. Okay, so 295 millimeter square, it is not the actual energy, the area here, 295. So E plus 295, since it is above the torque line, E plus 295. Let us finally do all the calculations, then multiply this pi by 36 finally. You don't have to do it for every time. Okay, so E plus, do you understand why I am putting plus? Because the energy at this point is E. Now I am adding 295 millimeter square of work done to this energy E. Okay, therefore it becomes energy at point B will be E plus 295 millimeter square, and then the conversion we will do later. Okay, at point C, what happens? You are going to lose 685 millimeter square area of work done. So therefore, E plus 295 minus 685. Do you understand what is happening? Now subtract this and write the answer. So that is E minus 390, effective answer. So energy at point C. Energy at point C is E minus 390. So starting point E, okay, this is plus, this is minus. So both the numbers, you solve these 2 numbers, then put the effective symbol here and write the number. Okay, similarly, next step. Now I am going to go for point B. So this is over, point B is over, point C is over, go to point B. So this point, here with this you have to put a plus 40, do you understand? Just a plus 40. Here the 40 is there, right, above the line. Above the line 40. Therefore, add a plus 40 becomes minus 350, right? So energy at point B is E minus 390, that is E minus 350. 40 gets added. Therefore, the negative value reduces, right? So now I am going to point E. Again, another 340. Look here. So up to point B is over. Now I am going for point E is here. So minus 340 with this equation. Okay. So therefore, energy at point E equal to E minus 350 is already existing at point D. With that, I am going to subtract another 340. Okay, this is the energy at the previous spot. This answer, right, just right as it is here. Okay, from that you have to subtract this 340, minus 340. Therefore, it will be E minus 690. Effective energy available at point E. E minus 690. Okay, So now the F point. So here you have an enormous surge in upsurge in energy, power stroke comes. Therefore, you have to add, take the previous case, energy case, keep it as it is and add 960 for energy at point F. Okay. So E minus 960 is the previous spot energy, previous point. E at point E, the energy is E minus 690 plus you have 960 added at this point. So therefore it becomes E plus 270. Okay, so these numbers you have to solve with a calculator. So therefore energy available at point F is E plus, energy available at point F is E plus 270. Clear? So the last point. Now you see you have plus 270 here and another minus 270 here. Therefore they will get cancelled and finally you will have energy back to the value of E. Okay, so take the previous point energy and subtract this energy, correct, the same procedure. You will end up with E. 270 and 270 will get cancelled, therefore it is E, which is same as the energy at A. What does this tell you? It tells you that the cycle is back to equilibrium. Again, you see G within bracket A. What does it tell you? The energy has become equal to point A again, and this cycle keeps going on up to infinity. How many cycles you are going to have? The same cycle is going to repeat itself again and again and again. So this single graph up to a value of pi radians is going to represent the functioning of the effective energy of the radian. Okay, fine. Now I want to find out the fluctuation, maximum fluctuation of energy. So, yes.
At point F வந்து E equal to 300 தான சார் வரும். E plus 300 தான சார் வரும்.
1 minute.
960 minus 360 300 தான சார்.
Numerical ஏதாவது தப்பா இருக்குங்கறியா? என்ன சொல்ல வர? I don't get your point. At point, which point?
At point F.
At point F, what is the value of point E? You look into the previous case. I have solved for E. It is minus E minus 690 is the energy at point E. Okay.
Okay.
Now I am going to add 960 to that answer because you have this much of positive value. To this point, add 960, you will get this point. Are you getting it? Yes,
sir. Adding 960 with 690 will get E plus 300 only, sir.
How you get there? See, you have a minus 690, put plus 960. You subtract 960 minus 690. What happens?
Sir.
Yes, yeah. Tell me.
A equal to E எப்படி சார் சொல்றீங்க?
See, you again get the value of G, energy at point G equal to E. I'll show you that one.
Oh, okay, correct, sir. Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
I had a power cut. Okay, 1 minute. No problem. See, don't worry. Don't tell sorry and all. Session is open for questions. I had a power cut, so I got disconnected 1 minute. So I am in the session, right? Everybody is hearing me. Is anybody hearing me?
Yes, sir, we can able to hear you, sir.
Okay, fine. I'll repeat it. 1 minute. The procedure I will repeat it again slowly. See, you just have to look at this diagram. Okay, I am starting with point A. So I am going to call the energy at point A as E. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, any some X, Y, or Z. I am going to call it as E because it is energy. Okay, call it as point E. Now, this is my guideline, mean torque line. So energy is fluctuating above and below the mean torque. Okay. So due to various positions of the engine during power stroke, we will get very high amount of energy above the mean torque. All the other places there will be some reduction, some fluctuation will be there. Now, so wherever your energy is above the mean torque line, you add it. Wherever it is below, you subtract it. That is the concept. Okay. So here you have E. So what is the next point? Some 295 is. So we will put signs first. Plus sign. When it is above the line, you put plus. So below the line, put minus. Plus minus. Plus minus. It is a cumulative summation. Okay, first what you have E plus 295. So you are getting second point is E plus 295. Okay, third point. So this is E plus 295, point B. Point B is over E plus 295. Third point C. Okay, so E plus 295 minus 685. You should not do from E here. It is not E minus 685. It is E plus 295 energy at point B minus this area. Okay, so because the previous point energy only, from this only you are subtracting this energy. Okay, so E plus 295 minus 685. So that is E minus 390. Okay, now what is the effective energy at point C? You keep this number in mind. So E minus 390 is the energy at point C. From the previous answer. So it is E minus 350. Okay, so next point. Now I am going to point E. So from the point D energy E minus 350, subtract another 340. Okay, so it becomes E minus 690. It goes to very negative value. So now I have E minus 690. Now I am having the power stroke, a large amount of energy is added. So therefore you are going to put plus sign from E minus 690. From this answer you are going to add plus 960. Okay, so plus 960 you are going to get plus 270. Okay, so now finally, so energy at this point is the energy E plus 270. From that I am going to subtract 270. Therefore this 270 will get cancelled, minus 270. Okay, therefore these two will get cancelled. You will end up with E, which is nothing but energy at the starting point. You are coming back to the starting point of the cycle. Okay, that is why you can see alphabet A is given in bracket. So these 2 points are identical in terms of energy. Okay, so this cycle keeps repeating from A to G, A to G, A to G, A to G. Right? So that now,
sir, I have a doubt.
We have to identify. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, tell me please.
Sir, we can consider as value as 0, sir, because it came equal only, no, sir. Why we want to consider A
yes.
equal to E?
Correct question. But you see in the y-axis, it is not 0. It is at some value. We don't know this value. It is not 0. 0 is here. Okay. First, I will tell you what is mean torque. Then this question will become. You will understand why it is not 0. So mean torque. See, you consider this. All of you have done Morse test in thermal lab, right? What you will do in Morse test? You will have a 3-cylinder engine. In our college, I am telling you will have a 3-cylinder engine. One by one, you will switch off the spark plug current for each cylinder and find out the frictional power of that particular cylinder. Okay. So from this, what you understand, no matter how much energy you produce, some to 20% of the energy you produce from the engine is consumed by the engine itself to keep the engine running. Correct or not? I am getting only one power stroke for 4 strokes: suction, compression, exhaust. Only power stroke one. This power stroke energy is received and stored in a flywheel, and that is used for moving the piston for all the other 3 strokes. Who is giving energy for suction? Who is giving energy for compression? Who is giving energy for exhaust? Only the power stroke is giving. Therefore, energy given out during the power stroke is not entirely going to the wheels. It is first it is consumed by the engine for some works. The remaining energy only you are able to get it out. So therefore, this mean torque is the minimum required torque which can keep your engine running consistently. Okay, just to start the vehicle moving, you need some torque. That is your mean torque. After that, whatever torque is available, higher than that, whatever is available to you is going to accelerate your vehicle. You can move fast. So now this mean torque is not 0. You cannot put 0. Some value is there. We are going to find out the value. In the course of the problem, we will find it out. Okay, this E is not equal to 0. So we cannot put 0. It is not correct. From the graph itself, you can see this much energy is available. E, some X, you can keep it as X if you don't like E, whatever, some energy, unknown value. It is there. Okay, now the next step is we are going to find out the maximum fluctuation of energy. What is the highest point in energy here? Lowest point in energy here. So this can be misleading. It is not a proper way to just look at the graph and decide it. So how you can do? You can see mathematically all the numbers. I will underline all the answers. Plus E plus 295, E minus 390, okay, E minus 350, E minus 690, E plus 220, AE. So now look for the greatest number. So forget E. Greatest number should be a positive number. Plus 295. What are all the plus numbers? You have plus 295. Everything else is negative. Here plus 270. Only two positive numbers I have. So this is my greatest value, correct? Energy at point E is greatest value, E plus 295. So highest energy is E plus 295. Correct? Okay. Similarly, what is the minimum value? Lowest value. Now look for only the negative answers. So a large number of negative sign is a very small number. I think you know that. Okay. So this is minus 390, minus 350, minus 690 is the smallest number available. That is the biggest negative number. So that is your minimum point in energy. So greater and negative means it will be very much down. Okay. So therefore maximum value, maximum energy point is E plus 295 at point B. Minimum energy point is energy at point E minus 690. Okay. I think all of you are able to understand this. So maximum point, just look at the number. Positive number, largest value. There are only two positive numbers here, plus 295, plus 270. Which is the larger number? 295 is the largest number. So maximum energy point is E plus 295. Minimum energy point, look at only the negative values. Minus 390, minus 350, minus 690. So 690 is the smallest number. Don't think that 690 is greater than 390. Why you are putting 690 as smallest number? Minus 690 means a larger a negative number. It means it is very small. Okay. So therefore minus 690. So highest energy point is point B. Lowest energy point is point E. Okay. With this in mind, we are going to proceed to the next step. Maximum energy at point E, E plus 295. Minimum energy at point, maximum energy at point B, E plus 295. Minimum energy at point, it is not C, it is point E. There is a small typing mistake here. This is point E. Okay. So this is your minimum energy point, E minus 690. Okay. Now the formula for delta E, maximum fluctuation of energy. Okay. Maximum fluctuation of energy, delta E equal to maximum energy minus minimum energy. Okay. Maximum energy is E plus 295. Minimum energy is E minus 690. Substitute these two into the above formula. So maximum energy is, so within bracket, you put a bracket and put it here. So you put a bracket and put it here. Okay. E and E will get cancelled. You don't have to find out what is, you can eliminate E. E plus 295 minus E minus 690. So you will get answer delta E equal to 985. This is what? This is area of the curve. You have not even multiplied that pi by 36 till now. I told you in the beginning, we can do that multiplication later. Whatever numbers, see what are all these numbers, plus minus, what we have done. It is the area of these curves. Okay, I will go back to the question slide. You can see this is 295 millimeter square area, 685 millimeter square area, 40 millimeter square, 340 millimeter square, 960 millimeter square, 270 millimeter square. Clear? So all these are area under the curve. So effective area under the curve, maximum fluctuation of energy in terms of area I have found out. Correct? Effective fluctuation, maximum energy minus minimum energy. In terms of millimeter square area, I have found out as 985 millimeter square. Now it is time to convert this into torque. How to convert that? 1 millimeter square on the turning moment diagram is pi by 36 Newton meter. How did you find this out? X-axis 1 millimeter is 1 degree, which is pi by 180 radians. Y-axis 1 millimeter is 5 Newton meter. 5 into pi by 180, which came around 5 pi by 36 radians, Newton meter. 1 millimeter square area in this fluctuating graph gives you pi by 36 Newton meter of torque. What is pi by 36? 3.14 by 36. Okay, that much of energy is available within 1 millimeter square area of the shaded graph. You have different curves, right? Some shaded area, that 236 millimeter square means within the 236 into pi by 36 area is available. Each curve I am telling. Now effective delta E is 985 millimeter square. So multiply this. So 1 millimeter square gives you this much of torque. Therefore 985. You multiply these two things, you will get the answer. Okay, delta E. So 985 into pi by 36. If you solve it in a calculator, you will get 86 Newton meter is the maximum fluctuation of energy. What does this tell you? The maximum point of torque in the crankshaft. See, all this happens within one revolution of the crankshaft. Don't think that the engine will run fast for some time and slow for some time. It is not like that. It is plotted against theta. Okay. So energy available with the crankshaft fluctuates per revolution. It is not that the engine is going to run speed for some time and slow for some time. Okay. Within one rotation itself, this fluctuation is going to happen. You cannot sense it. It is not humanly possible. It happens very fast. Okay. So up to this delta E, all of you understood, I think. 985 into pi by 36 is 86 Newton meter. Okay. So first question I have answered. Delta E. First, what is the only answer I asked for you? Coefficient of fluctuation of speed, CS. So formula for CS is, there is one formula for, from this relationship, I'm going to find this out. The delta E, what you have found out now, by diagrammatic graphical method you have found out. It has another formula. Okay, this we have seen yesterday. Delta E equal to mk square. What is mk square? Moment of inertia. Moment of inertia into omega square into coefficient of fluctuation of speed equal to delta E. So in this equation formula, I know delta E just now I have found out. It has to 86 Newton meter. I know mass of the flywheel is given, radius of gyration is given, omega, RPM is given. So with this I can find out this ES. This is the unknown quantity. Substitute everything into this formula. So mass is 36 kilogram, radius of gyration 0.15 meter, omega is 188.52 radians per second, and the delta E is 86 Newton meter. Put everything here. Okay. So this is your delta E 86. Okay. So delta E is 86. So mass of the flywheel is 36 kilogram. So radius of gyration is 0.15 meter. So I have a square here. Similarly, omega is 188.52 radians per second. I have a square here into CS. Solve for CS. Okay, that is the only question asked for you. So, so 86 equal to 28787 CS. So CS is 86 by 28787, which is 0.003. It is a percentage value. Okay, coefficient of fluctuation of speed is a percentage. Therefore, 0.003 means 0.3%. Okay. So therefore, coefficient of fluctuation of speed is 0.3. When you are expressing numerically or you are using CS in calculation, you have to use 0.003. Okay, this is the value for calculation purpose. But for giving result, you have to convert it into percentage and write into 100. So 0.3%. So that is the only question asked. So we have completed the first problem. Coefficient of fluctuation of speed equal to 0.3%, which means what? Within one rotation, the crankshaft speed is varying. Within one rotation, I am telling, okay, from 0 to 30 degree, it has one speed, 30 to 60 degree, it has one speed, 60 to 90 degree, it has another speed. Like that, within one revolution itself, it is having fluctuation in speed. That speed variation is comes around 0.3%, maximum speed and minimum speed fluctuation, difference in speed. Okay, so that is the end of the problem. So this is your 16.4 problem number. Okay, so